Hey guys, this is Carrie from Tone Wars. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We're really excited to hang out with you and to have you be part of our community. If you like what you see here, here's a couple ways you can support the channel. We always appreciate super chats very much, but here's a couple other ways you can support the channel and get something in return other than just content. If the super chat feature doesn't work for you, or if you're watching after the live stream, Jarrod's PayPal account link is listed below. Any donation of any amount is greatly appreciated. Since the show is sponsored in part by Motor City Guitar, we've included an affiliate link below. By clicking the link below, everybody wins. You're getting a great deal on some awesome equipment, you're supporting a store that has tons of inventory and great customer service, and you're supporting Tone Wars. And on top of all of that, if you live outside of the state of Michigan, whenever you buy anything from Motor City Guitar, you don't pay any sales tax. And last but certainly not least, you can visit our website at tonewars.com. The link is below. There you will find some awesome KEMPER profile packs with the tone and feel guitar players love. You will also find presets for the very popular HELIX, HX Effects, HX Stomp, and Pod Go. Alright, the show's about to begin. We look forward to hanging out with you, so grab your favorite drink and join us in the live chat.
Welcome to Tone Wars. Hey everybody, I'm just turning on my in-ears right now. Caught me looking here. There we go. Oh, awesome. Hey, what's going on everybody? Thanks for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. It's been a crazy day. It's been a really, really freaking crazy day. Quick story about today. Let me just tell you about this amp. Let me turn on the gear cam here. Take a look at that glorious beast. Oh my God, this thing's freaking beautiful. I never thought I would own a white amp, but you know, I have to say that this is a very classy, very nice looking amp. It just looks clean. It's nice. I like the black piping and the black hardware and the black logo and the handle and everything. It just looks really cool. Like really freaking cool. It reminds me of like the new Corvettes, the white ones with the black trim. They just look freaking amazing. So that's kind of what this looks like to me. If a Corvette was an amp, that's what it would look like. So a quick story about this. The other day I was rendering my my EVH dial-in video. By the way, for you that watched it, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And it was just rendering, and I'm just sitting there. It's like 2 a.m. I'm just got my feet up on my desk watching the wheel turn, you know, for it to render. And I got a bing, you know, Facebook ding, and somebody posted something for sale in the Ceriatone group, and I'm like, oh, well, let me just see what that is, you know, just out of curiosity. So I went in the group, and sure enough, it was the molecular, and I've been wanting a molecular. If you guys remember, several months ago, I did the Yeti, and I thought the Yeti was really good. Wasn't 100% my style, but it was a great amp. It was built well. Tony McKenzie tore one apart and said it was amazing. I love Tony McKenzie, by the way. Guys, he's awesome. It's like hanging out with your uncle or your grandpa talking about amps. The guy's amazing. Anyway, so I saw that it was a Ceriatone molecular, and I was just like, I've been wanting one of these so bad for ever since I reviewed the Yeti, and I had a feeling. I watched Leon Todd's channel, and he has a Ceriatone molecular, and he made that thing sound amazing, and I'm like, that's got to be the amp for me from Ceriatone. And the more people I asked, like Mike Hasty and some other friends of mine, they all said you should get the molecular. That's probably the one that you're gonna like. And so, anyways, it was for sale. Really nice guy. Hey Tony, I know you're in here. Say hello to the nice folks here. Everybody say hello to Tony. Guy's awesome dude. Really, really cool dude. So I, you know, worked out a price with Tony, and I bought it, and it came here safe and sound and in perfect shape, and it got here today, just a couple hours ago. So, you know, I'm not going to do a lot of like mixes and crazy stuff tonight with effects and everything, because I literally just got this thing down here a few hours ago and had it all dialed in. I had to get to know it. I had to dial into my taste to get it all mic'd up, mixed, sound leveled, everything else. It's been pretty nuts, So, so yeah, I mean, it was just kind of fortuitous that I found this, and it was one of those things where it was like I thought I was done buying amps for the year, but to be honest with you, finding one of these readily available right now is it's kind of a miracle. So I couldn't say no. I had to get it. So again, I want to thank Tony for sending it here in good condition and being a stand-up guy. I really appreciate that very much. By the way, speaking of Tony, down below, I think it's at the bottom or close to the bottom, I posted a link to Tony's video. He did a tribute to Dimebag Darrell in a video, and him and his friends recorded a bunch of stuff, and he recorded the solo note for note in it, and it sounds amazing. And he used one of the Ceriatone amps in that video. So if you want to support Tony or check out the video, feel free to click the link below and after the show, and take you right to a YouTube channel where he posted the video. Dimebag Darrell was amazing guitar player, amazing guy, and it was cool that he did a tribute to him. And I guess his widow is going to be seeing that as well. She might have already seen it, so that was really cool. So, anyways, you know how you order an amp kind of like you've never played it before, and you just hope that it shows up and it's amazing. Because if it's not, you're kind of like, well, I guess I'll have to resell it, because I don't know if I'm going to like this or not. And but I'll play it in a minute, and I'll see what you guys think. And I'm going plain Jane tonight. No effects, just overdrive pedal into the amp. I have my Helix here, but I'm not using any effects tonight because I got to dial all that in with this amp differently. So it'll be pretty much plain tonight. I'll do a couple, of my regular mixes just to hear it in a mix for you guys. I got one new mix for you tonight. I'll play part of it. I won't play the solo section because I haven't written the solo yet, but at least you can hear it in that mix. And I'll play some stupid riffs and crap on it, go through the features and stuff. But I pretty much had about 20 minutes to dial this in. So we'll hear how that sounds in a minute. Let me say hello to everybody real quick. Oh my God, we got 35 people here already. Awesome. Jason Taylor, what's happening, buddy? Good to see you here. Let me scroll back here. Chicago Todd, Dave Rebel, The Terror Beyond, Sean Casey, Mike Jacobs, Jeff Cornell. What's happening, guys? Matt Nolan, Dave Rebel, Aluminum Fetish. What's going on, man? Brad Shimke, Gunnerman54. What's going on, man? Looks like you're back from your hunting trip. Good for you. I saw that picture. Freaking killer, man. Good job. Steve Evenchek, what's happening? He said, does anybody know this is a new purchase? I did buy it, and I'm glad I did. Mike Jacobs says, Jarrod is going to need a bigger rack to hold all those new toys. I know. I've already outgrown both racks now. I need... I don't know what I'm doing here, guys. I'm freaking losing my mind, I guess. Let's see here. Dave Rebell says, whatever happens tonight, it's going to make a final destination on how much money I spend at Ceriatone, or however you pronounce it. Paul Smith, what's going on? Warm Cord, what's happening? Let's see here. I just want to make sure I don't blow anybody off here. I hate it. Oh, he said, Jason Taylor says, it reminds me of the Randy Rhoads Marshall. Yeah, the white Marshall. I'm telling you, man, this thing's beautiful. It really is. It's a gorgeous amp. All right. Everybody's saying hi to Tony. That's awesome. Mule Blues. What's going on? Steve Etchek, are you Tony the Terror Beyond? He says, I am indeed. So Tony is the Terror Beyond. He's a great guy. Seriously, guys, he's a really cool guy. He was great to work with on the amp. Very supportive, very helpful with everything. I've never met Tony, and sometimes when you send money to somebody that you've never met to buy something from them, there's that cringe moment where you're like, oh God, this could really go sideways. He was 100% legit the whole time. He even sent me pictures of him packing the amp up and sending it to me and everything. Sent me tracking information. I mean, stand up, straight up, really cool dude. So I appreciate that very much. So if he ever sells you anything, trust me, it's going to come in good working order. And you can trust him 100%. So, all right. So you guys are probably like, shut the hell up and play the stinking amp. All right. So that's what I'm gonna do. Let me turn on the old gear cam again so you can see the settings, and let's get this party started. Turn on the standby here. Oh, listen to that thing getting ready to freaking kill the world. Here we go. Good God. Jeez, I had to do that riff again because I totally crapped the bed on that one. Wow, man, that you should feel what I'm feeling in the room right here. This thing is just shaking the walls, man. I probably got about 90 decibels going, and it's right behind me in this cab, and oh my God, it's just so beefy. Yeah, yep, very, very beefy. So how I have it set up here is there's an era switch here. So I have it on the modern era, which hits a diode. It's like a clipping diode, and it compresses, but it just gives you like this big, fat, kind of really nice full attack, and it's a little more compressed, and it takes the volume down, which is why I have the volume kind of cranked here. But if I switch this to a different era, which I'll do later, it'll open up the amp and it just unleashes everything, and it bypasses that diode, so it just opens up and gets really loud and just kind of open. You know, it's kind of like with the Mesa dual rec, the Mesa Mark 525 does on the Extreme. It kind of bypasses that diode and opens up. Same kind of thing, except this gets really loud. Like if I flip that switch right now, it'd blow my ears out, man. I'd be done. But what's cool is if you have it on the modern era, you know, that switch, you can crank the volume, but it eventually catches up. And I found the spot, which is past where we're at right now. You crank it up to like 3 o'clock, the volume, and oh my God. And the thing is this is one of those amps. You know, some amps you turn them up and it's just too harsh or whatever. This thing loves that setting. Man, I put it on that diode or that modern setting, and I crank the volume to 3 o'clock. It sounds absolutely fantastic at that volume. I stood kind of where my monitor is, about 10 feet away, and played. I was like, holy crap, this thing sounds incredible. So there's also a link at the bottom in the description here where you can get these from Ceriatone. I don't know how you pronounce this. Ceriatone, I believe. And it takes you right to the page where the molecular is. I'm telling you, If you want something different, but hand-built by a guy who's amazing at what he does, very talented, very, very smart, genius guy named Nick. Great guy, spoke to him a little bit today too. Had some questions about some things. He was very helpful. And you want to get something affordable, but it's hand-built. You know, you get something like this in the States, because he's in Malaysia. You get this in the States, you're going to pay, I don't know, maybe $2,500, $3,000 for it. Since you're getting it, you know, from a really great amp builder named Nick, and maybe there's just, I don't know what the overhead differences are. I'm not going to get into all the business, but all I'm going to say is it's about $1,350. It's 100 watts, $1,350. Is hand built, you know. So if you want that kind of cork sniffery goodness, for that hand built kind of quality and stuff, and this thing has a lot of different modes, a lot of different sounds that you can get out of it. It's very versatile. It's one channel, but that channel could do several different things. So if you want it to sound like a Marshall, it'll sound like a Marshall. If you want it to sound kind of like the Cameron Atomica, it'll sound like that, because that's kind of what this is modeled after. It's got that mod in it, so it just sounds incredible. I'm very picky. I can't stand thin, anemic amps that are hollowed out and don't have a lot of fullness to them. This does not fit that description. This is full, fat, punchy, lots of great attack, lots of great aggression, and gain for days, fullness for days, and you have, I do have the camera on, so you have depth, girth, presence, bass, middle, treble, and then master, and then gain, and then you have the edge switch, which changes how much edge you want. So if you want a stringier sound, you can get that. I'll do all these demos for you in a few, and then the character switch here. And on the back, you also have another mod switch that'll make it sound a little different as well. The way I have it set up right now, it's at its fullest and its beefiest, and that's kind of how I like it. So, but there's times maybe I'll want to change things around, like if I'm doing a recording and I want to have it beefy on one side and maybe a little stringier on the other side. It's almost like having two different amps in one, you know, so I can have that. So yeah, very cool, very nice amp. I love it, and it was one of those things where I was like, well, if I get it and it doesn't really work for me, I know I can sell this thing overnight, because these things are very, very hot commodities. People want these because it takes a bit when you order one to get it. It's worth the wait, but it doesn't come overnight. Let me just put it to you that way. It's several weeks. So, and again, it's worth the wait because these are very good. But if you could find a good used one, like I did, and it suits what you're looking for, freaking buy it. These things are killer. They really are. All right, so let me answer some questions here, and then I'll do a mix or two, and we'll just screw around and, you know, mess around with the settings here. Yeah, Ceriatone. That's the name. I think it means joyful sound or something. This thing's not, it's making a haunting, scary sound, and that's kind of what I like. Iced coffee tones, bit too much gain for my liking. Well, I could turn the gain down, but I do rhythm and lead on the same channel here tonight, so I'm kind of keeping the gain in a setting where it would work for both. I'm sacrificing on both ends. Let's do this. Let me do a little gain sweep for you. I got it at 9 o'clock, okay? 1 second. Okay, so that's, you know, a little gain sweep there. I went 3 o'clock, noon, and, or I'm sorry, 9 o'clock, noon, and, you know, kind of like 3 o'clock. So, yeah, it does, you know, it's got plenty of gain for days. There's a lot you could do with it. Let me mess with the edge switch now. Right now I have it in the middle, so let me do both sides for you. It's got 3 positions. Alright, so the mics aren't doing it justice tonight as far as what these switches are doing. What I'm getting in the middle of the era, or not the era, oh my god, do not touch that switch. It'll blow my head off. In the middle, I get the fuller sound where the pinch harmonics are they're juicier. And if I go either side of that, they get a little colder, but there's a stringiness that comes along with it. So that's kind of cool. Now let's screw around with the character switch. Okay, again, the mics and the YouTube compression are not going to do this justice, but there's subtle but noticeable differences. In the middle it's fuller, and on each side you get a little different kind of attack with it. It's very cool, and again, it's just one of those things. And what I like about it is that depending on, sorry, I don't have all the stuff hooked up tonight to keep everything quiet. So depending on your pickups and your taste and the type of wood you have in your guitar, all that kind of stuff, all these switches will definitely make a very good difference in what your gear, what kind of guitar you're playing and pickups and stuff. So a lot of times what you'll do is you'll plug into an amp and be like, God, if it just was a little more this or a little less that, and a lot of amps don't have those switches. So it's like, well, you're kind of stuck with it. You either got to get different pickups or a different pedal, or you know what I mean. But with this amp, it attenuates for your pickups or your playing style or your taste. So that's really nice. So you have 3 positions here, you have 3 positions here, and then you have 3 positions here in the era switch, which that gives you 9 positions so far. But there's more. If you buy now, you get a free set of steak knives. So on the back, there's another switch that changes the voicing as well. So let me show you that. All right, 1 second. Alright, sorry about all the boring riffs tonight, but I'm just showing you what this amp does. So that also gives you that, you know what it's reminiscent of when you hit that switch? It's a little bit reminiscent of Ingles' Channel 3 on the Savage. I'm sitting right over there. So the Savage Mark II, there's Channel 3 on there that's got that weird kind of thing, and then when you hit a wah with it, oh my god, it's just ridiculous. It's very reminiscent of that. So if you want to get your weird on and you have some really quirky but awesome kind of stuff, hit that switch and grab a wah and go nuts. I mean, it really sounds amazing. So that's actually a cool feature as well. Really makes a difference. And you just dial in the rest of the amp accordingly, and then you're good. So yeah, I mean, a lot of great features on it. I believe this is a EL amp, EL84. I could be wrong. I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's not 6L6, so EL34, I'm sorry, EL34s. So, let's see here. Ice Coffee Tones, he says, yes, just stumbled on the stream searching live guitar. Oh, cool. Well, welcome, Betty. Good to see you here. Yeah, it does not have MIDI on it because it only has one channel, so you don't really need to worry about that. Let's see here. EL34, thank you. Yeah, geez, I got, guys, I'm a little flustered tonight because I literally had like very little time to get set up for tonight, and I had a different kind of live stream gonna happen, but then I got this in time, and I was like, oh, switch gears, do this, and I literally just dialed this in today, like very shortly ago, and I'm still getting to know it, which is kind of cool, so you guys can see, you know, somebody literally get to know an amp. Live. So let's do a mix. Let's do some of my stupid mixes here. 1 second. Yep, freaking gnarly as hell. And that's just some of the stuff this thing will do. I mean, it'll do a lot. There's a lot of, and again, like, don't trust what you're hearing on YouTube as far as like when I change the switches, and you're probably out there going, I don't hear that big of a difference. Trust me, in the room, you'll hear a huge difference. The problem with YouTube's compression is it just kind of evens a lot of things out, and a lot of that character and a lot of different things that amps and different pieces of gear do just doesn't come through. But in the room or in like a real recording where everything's not compressed to death, you'll hear a major difference, you know. So that's why I'm so descriptive with things, because I want to make sure that you understand that there's some pretty big stuff happening with this amplifier when I make those changes, you know. So I just like the fact that you get the depth and the girth, and they really do work. Let me screw around with the girth real quick here. And you'll hear what that does. 1 second. Now that was extremely noticeable, if you ask me. I could hear a huge difference with that. So it just changes the whole overall character of the amp big time. So very cool knob. I gotta get to know what that feature does and dial it in further. So again, this isn't like the perfect dialed in version of this amp. I think it's definitely good enough to be presentable for the show, but I'm gonna fine tune this, and then once I do, I'll do a dial in video with this. I'm finishing up with my Engel Savage dial in video. That should be up this week. But yeah, so far, very impressed with this. I'm so glad I bought it, and this is going to be a staple on the set here. I'm going to keep this around because it's just a lot of fun to play. There's a lot of great options on it, and I'm having a blast with it. And I'm helping a guy. I'm a business owner. I'm helping a guy that's also a business owner. He's in a completely different country, but that's fine. But he works hard. He makes sure that his amps are built well. Again, he builds them by hand. They're boutique, but you don't pay the boutique price. That's what's nice about this. So if you're looking for something different, I want a Marshall or, something like that, buy one of these. Because this is actually a better version of a Marshall because it's a modded Marshall. Like all the old Jose mods and all that kind of stuff. Nick does all that stuff. And he builds them by hand, but you're not going to pay the big name or the boutique price. You're going to pay a fair price for an amp that's built probably better than some of the ones that you're looking for. And it sounds incredible. It sounds so freaking good. I've never played a Marshall that sounded as good as this does. I'll tell you that right now. This sounds amazing. It's got that nice fullness to it, that a lot of Marshalls, in my opinion, are missing. This thing sounds incredible. It doesn't really lack anything. And again, yes, you have one channel, but you got all these different tone options for it to make it sound however you want and attenuate it to your taste or your pickups or, whatever. So I really think you can't go wrong. And I'm not getting paid to say any of this stuff. I bought this amp. Tony will tell you I bought it from him. So no one's paying me to say anything. This channel's about me just buying stuff or even reviewing stuff I haven't bought, but just being honest about it. I really think this is good. I mean, not everything I play on this channel is my favorite thing. But I do it for, the sake of reviewing for people that it might be their favorite thing. So out of respect for whoever's out there watching, I'll review it for them. But this isn't one of those times where, it's not really my favorite thing, but I'll review it for you. No, I love this thing. I think it's freaking awesome. And I love how it looks. I never thought I'd buy a white amp, but I think it looks freaking killer. And it's going to be on the shelf somewhere, and it's going to stand out. That's the other thing I thought would be cool. Like, well, it'll stand out. It's the only white one I got. Let me see what the comments are. Mule Blues. Yes, I'm playing through a 2x12 Mesa, vintage 30s in it. Thank you. Pryor versus Gear. What's going on, buddy? Aaron Short. What's happening? Steve Vanchek. He says, hey guys, I'm always following Tone Wars. Well, my band just released a new album in July. Do a search on YouTube. 14 years. Yeah, do a search and check out his album, guys. Yeah, if you guys are liking what you see here, please hit the thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. It really helps the algorithm. Sharing's caring, all that good stuff. I'd really appreciate that. Jeff Cornell, clean up in aisle 4. Yeah, man, this amp freaking smokes. It really does. So if you're into the classic rock or even the modern stuff, I mean, this will do everything in between with that era switch. It's got classic. I think it's got like a vintage, classic, and a modern. I'm on the modern, but I kind of like the other ones too. I'd have to take the volume way down, but it sounds really good. So it's a keeper set then, CS says. Yes, it is a keeper. Total keeper. Let me do one more mix. There's a little bit of a chance here. I haven't written the solo for this yet, so I'm only going to play up till where the solo starts. Let me turn the gain down a little bit. This one here, it's called Out of Nowhere. I think I got the volume set right on it. 1 second.
Right there is when the solo starts. I was working on that today when this showed up, so it's been kind of fun. Yeah, anyways, hopefully that mix sounded good. Hopefully the levels were good there. But yeah, man, this thing freaking smokes. It really does. Killer amp. And again, if you're looking for something kind of in the Marshall family, but you want something different, and you want that mod, and you want all the good stuff, hand built, I'm telling you, man, I can't recommend this enough. I mean, great company, great guy that makes these. I've had interactions with Nick before in the group, and he's an honest guy. He builds good stuff, and it's worth waiting for. Oh man, I got some super chats. Thank you guys. Jason Taylor says, I think that Ceriatone just gave me a brain aneurysm. It's like the Ginsu knife. It slices and dices, then hits you in the face with no apologies. Yeah, bro, thank you very much for commenting in for the super chat. It's great to see you here. Yeah, man, it's just a great amp. I mean, there's nothing not to like about it. And you know, it's just cool because like it's your own thing. And here's the other thing. Like when you order one of these, you order your own Tolex, your own colors, your own everything, and you can actually ask Nick to do some other mods to it. He's got tons of options. So if you want like this mod or that mod, yeah, you pay a little extra for it. But he'll put all those mods on there, and you can have your own custom version of a boutique amp. I mean, how many places do that for you? You know, so like, yeah, my Ceriatone does this. Oh, mine does this. You know, and it's like your own custom version of it. I mean, you order a custom guitar, you're gonna spend $4,000 to $5,000, sometimes even $10,000 on a guitar custom. With these, you get a custom amp, and you're $1,350. You know, and then you add a couple of your own mods to it if you need to, and it's not that much more. So I honestly think it would be fun to go on there, talk to Nick, see what it is that he offers, and check out some of the mods that he does. Get your own color, get your own designs, get all that stuff, and then when your amp comes, it's your amp. You know what I mean? It's not your amp because you bought it. It's your amp because you designed it. You picked everything. That's cool. You know, it really is. And when you show up to a gig, you're the only one that sounds like you. Everybody else on there has got all their garden variety stuff, which is also very good. I have some garden variety stuff here, and it's great stuff. But if you want to stand out and be a little different, here's your chance, and you could do it without breaking the bank, right? I mean, that's just a freaking killer deal, you know? Mark Grant says, Nicky makes incredible amps. Craftsmanship is top shelf. It really is. And if you don't believe me, like watch Tony McKenzie. He tore one of these apart and just looked at every part with his little eraser. This part right here, that's a good part there. That's hand built. This amp is hand built. Him and his British accent. Yeah, and he gave it total thumbs up all the way through. So, and he doesn't hold back. He's a great dude, but he's honest with you, you know. Scott Fulmar, thanks, man. He says, great amp review. Thanks again for all you do. Thank you, dude. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much. Chicago Todd, helping support your addiction. I'm an enabler. Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that.
Joseph Hibbs, hello everyone. I finally got logged into this. Oh, cool, man. Quite the task for me. Sounds like you got it dialed in. Sounds good. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for being here and putting in the effort to get in here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I got it dialed in. I'm going to do more for you in a second here. I'm going to now that I got the mixes out of the way, I can do some more stuff with it. Sean Casey, I like the news. Oh, thanks, buddy. I appreciate it very much. Thank you. Yeah, it's almost done. I got the solo about 60% done. Hopefully by next live stream on a Wednesday, I'll have it done by then for you guys. It's coming along pretty good. Thank you. Michael Mazlowski, what's up? What's up, Arnold? He says, hi. Good to see you here. Always good to see you here, Michael. All right, let me do a couple more riffs on this setting here. Let me fire this back up here. You know what I'm going to do too? Let me do this. Let me enlarge this so you can see it. So there's the settings. You want to see it up close. There's everything right there. Yeah, it's just a killer looking amp. Lots of great features. I probably should have did that when I was doing the switches and stuff so you could see up close which one I was doing and how I had it, but you get it. Yeah. So, yep, lots of features. It'll sound, I'm telling you, if it comes set up the way you don't like it, don't worry. There's plenty of options to set it up the way you do. There really is. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to turn the master way the hell down, and then I'm going to go through the different eras. And I got to be careful because I got in-ears in, and oh my god, I just do not want to blow my ears out. The volume skyrockets when you do that. When you switch, because I had it on the diode which clips, so you got to crank the volume to attenuate for that. So now I got the volume down again because I don't need to attenuate. I'm bypassing that diode. Now the amps open up and it's just unleashes the fury. So let's see what we got. Just hope I got it turned down far enough where it doesn't blow my head off here. 1 second. All right, and yes, it's being boosted. Somebody just asked. So it's being boosted. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play each mode with and without the boost. Okay, so I brought the little picture-in-picture down so you could see me turn the boost on and off. Tonight I'm boosting it with the Precision Drive by Horizon Devices because it has a noise gate on it, and it really kind of helps me with the noise. So, but I'll be honest with you, like the modern mode, I think probably 50% of the people that play this amp will not want to boost it because it's actually pretty tight and it's pretty percussive. And for certain things, it could actually work for me without a boost. But I boost every amp because I just love having that great sustain and attack and that feel. And I'm not a heavy picker, so it just helps me with that. But to each their own. It all depends. Like there's guys with, you know, the whatchamacallit pickups, active pickups that might not need to boost this amp because they help with that. So, all right. So right now I'm on whatever the mode is. That's all the way over to the left. Seems like the one in the middle is kind of like a Marshall-y thing. So it'll do the Marshall thing. It's a little more empty and kind of woody. So for the guys who love that, there you go. You know, and right now it's kind of, I don't know what mode that is. I got to get the manual, but that mode's pretty good. It's less gain than the modern mode, but it still sounds pretty full. But you can tell as soon as I hit that, you heard the volume go down because it's using a different diode for that. You're getting a little more of that, the compression, a little more saturation with it. But very cool. So I'm going to start with that and do the overdrive on and off. It's off right now, so I'll go ahead and play a couple riffs for you. Okay, so there's that mode. Let me turn the volume back down. So we're going to go in the middle where it's more open. Alright, so boost off. Let's see what this mode sounds like. Okay, so a pretty big difference there. Now I'm going to go to the modern mode and do that one both ways. Okay, so there's that. So all three modes with and without overdrive. Again, I think it's pretty tight without it. Let me play a couple riffs on it again. Yeah, the overdrive just gives it that nice aggression that I like, but like I said, I can honestly see how, there's going to be a certain crowd. There always is anyways. That, I don't need an overdrive. It all depends on the riffs that you play, your pickups, your taste, and whether or not your mom will let you ride the Lightning. I get it. Not all of us are allowed to. But the thing is, though, is I do understand, like, some people might not use an overdrive with this amp. Because, again, there's always a certain amount, but I think the amount of people that wouldn't on this amp, depending on, again, certain variables, might be higher, because this amp is actually pretty freaking, it's not flubby. I like flubby amps, though, just so I'm not saying I don't like this. I love this amp, but I'm just saying, I love a big, fat, gooey, flubby amp, because as soon as you hit it with the overdrive, it just tightens up, and it's still got tons of low end and fullness. So this is kind of like an in-betweener. It's tight enough where I can still boost it, but I'm not choking it with the boost. So I like it with the Horizon devices, but I also like it with my Eros pedal. I'm just using the Horizon devices tonight because, again, it's got the noise gate in it, which really does help with the noise. So since I'm not going 4 cable tonight with all the effects and everything, I need that noise gate. So yeah. Yep, great amp. Highly recommend it. Again, if you want to be different, you want to stand out in the crowd and come show up with something different, this is definitely a great option for you. It really is, because it's just, it's one thing to show up with something different that sucks. That's not the case here. This is very unique, and everybody in the amp world is into mods. Oh, did you get your amp modded? Yeah, I got it modded by this guy and that guy. Well, this comes modded. And you can beforehand pick out even more mods if you want. You can have a row of switches on here, as many as you want to pay for, probably. Poor Nick is probably like, all right, dude, getting a little out of hand here with the switches. But I mean, who knows? Maybe he'll do whatever he'll probably do whatever you want. As long as you're willing to pay him. But I love the clean look, very nice looking amp. I again never thought I'd buy a white amplifier, but this thing actually looks really freaking cool. I like how it looks. Girth in the Arnold voice. You have to do the Girth. Here. This is the Girth knob. It's very huge. Gives you girth. Gunnerman, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the super chat. He says, I love the white and it sounds awesome. And yes, I had a good hunting trip. Thanks. Awesome, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that very much. Okay, so let's see here. So Michael's asking me, how is the Ceriatone treating me? It's treating me good. I'll be honest with you. Like, again, I said this before. Like, anytime you buy an amp, kind of like you've never played before, and it's like, well, I paid for it. I just hope it shows up and I like it. I know I could sell it if I don't like it, but there's always that part of me that's just like, I don't want to though. I want to like it. And it's everything I hoped it would be. It really is. Like, I think it's amazing. I'm very impressed with it. And I got something unique, that anywhere I go around here anyways, I'm the only guy that's going to show up with this on stage. Guaranteed. So that's going to be really cool. And like I said, it's hand-built, custom. It's got all the mods and all the cool stuff on it. And I think it looks amazing. And yeah, it's. I hoped it would sound and feel like it does, and that's the other thing I want to tell you guys too. Like, it feels great in the mode that I like. So the mode that I like is the modern. The other mode, all the way to the left, whatever that is, I thought it felt great in that too, as long as I cranked the gain up a little more. I didn't care for the Marshall mode as far as how it felt as much, because it's there's going to be a lot of people that love that mode, and I totally respect that. For me, because I'm a metal player, doesn't really work for me, but it doesn't mean I think it's awful. It's just not enough fullness and saturation for me, but I can see why people like it. It sounds good. I just like the feel of the modern mode the best on it, Let's see here. Let me catch up to you guys. Yes, Mule Blue said it's modeled after the camera in Atomica. Exactly, it's modeled after that. Yep. Metalhead says Ceriatone makes killer amps. Their ODS is an almost perfect Dumble clone. Oh, that's awesome. Because you can't get a Dumble, right? You can't freaking get a Dumble anymore unless you want to spend a fortune for it. So I'm telling you, like, these are not like cheap knockoff amps. They're actually built very well and they sound amazing and they feel great too. You know, let's see here. This is crushing, Michael says. Yeah, it is. It's a crushing amp. It does have a lot of great stuff to it. I love it. That third mode doesn't need a boost, that's for sure. Yeah, like the modern mode, see, it depends. Like, there's guys that would probably not put a boost in front of it. I would, because I'm playing solos and I'm doing stuff like that. But, I mean, it's really a taste thing. You know, it really is. Like, how much of pepper do you want to sprinkled on your salad, you know? I mean, everybody's going to say when at different places. So, I'm the guy that's like, keep going. I like it spicy. So, Christopher, nothing light wrong with a tight, fat, low end. That's right, buddy. That's what we like. Let's see here. KEMPER profile on the way, Metalhead. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'll be profiling this. I got to profile my JP. The KSR is updated. So is the EVH. I got to do... Oh, the Mark 525s are done. I'm going to be profiling this, the Mesa Dual Rec Roadster, and I'm going to be profiling my Ingle Savage as well. So, yep, big packs coming soon. Compton, what's going on, buddy? Jason Taylor says that's some badonkadonk that thing has. Oh, yeah, dude. This thing's got badonkadankadankadonk. Yeah, it's got a lot of fullness. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Let me do Out of Nowhere one more time. I'm going to do that mix one more time. And then I'm probably going to get off here in a few more minutes. There's just not a lot to talk about. I think I covered it all. You know, I don't have it perfectly dialed in, but I think this is a great kind of meet and greet with this this amplifier. So again, if you're thinking about getting something different, getting something unique, you really should consider the Ceriatone stuff. I had the Yeti on, and I was impressed with that as well. It wasn't 100% what I go for tone-wise, and feel-wise it did, but tone-wise wasn't 100% what I go for, but I knew, I could tell the quality was there, and it was built well, and it sounded great. And like I said, the more I talk to people, the more they're pointing me towards the molecular, and I made the right choice. 100% confident with this choice. So, yeah, so let me do this this mix called Out of Nowhere one more time here. And then put that on. Hopefully I got the volume where I'm supposed to have it. Let's see what we got here, guys. Yeah, man, it slams. You should feel, like, you should seriously feel what I'm feeling in here. Every palm mute is like, like a punch in the back right now. It's just nailing me. It's just awesome. Sounds killer, man. Uh, Chris Sargent says, your Yeti video sold me on the 50 watt over the 20 watt version. Should be here in like 2 weeks. Awesome, dude. Congratulations, man. That's awesome. I thank you for chiming in and saying that. Yeah, I had a lot of fun playing that amp, man. That thing was cool. It was really cool. I'm just trying to say this to, straighten out what I said earlier. Like it didn't work for me in ways that it felt great, but it was about 90% I was looking for tone wise. But then this thing here, it'll kind of sound like the Yeti, but there's that switch that just gave me that, oh, there it is, that little 10% difference where you're like, that's it. It's kind of like when you turn a knob and you turn it just past that one spot and you're like, oh yeah, that's what I've been looking for. It's, it's guitar players are. We're so picky. But yeah, the Yeti is a great amp. It really is. And you know what? I'm very grateful that my friend Mike Hasty turned me on to this brand by letting me use that Yeti for the live stream, because had he not done that, I would have missed out on this. And so the Yeti was kind of like my gateway drug into all the stuff that Ceriatone makes. So I'm very, very grateful for that thing. So the Yeti's always going to have a special place in my heart, because of what all the doors it opened up for me. So this probably isn't my last Ceriatone amp. I'll probably get some other ones. I just got to figure out what else I want, in the future. But this one came out of nowhere. And I was surprised. Like I said, I wasn't expecting to buy any more amps this year. And then, that Facebook notification came up, and I was like, I can't say no to this, because I don't know when the next time I'm going to have this opportunity. They're always worth waiting for, but I'm one of those right now guys. Give it to me now, So that's kind of what it's like for me. But it was a great opportunity, and I couldn't turn it down, So, well, I'll stay here for a couple more minutes with you guys. I know it's a little shorter than usual tonight, but I think I covered all the bases with the amp. I'm going to do a dial-in series with this sometime down the road as I get to know it. Like the one I'm doing right now with the Ingle Savage, I waited before I did that dial-in series because I wanted to get to know the amp better, so that when I do the dial-in video on all 4 channels and play them in mixes for you guys, like, I'm 100% confident that this is as good as I can get this to sound for me, for my taste. So I'm not going to watch it 6 months later and go, oh, why did I make it sound like that? I know that how I have it dialed in right now, because I've spent more time with it since I bought it, is optimal for me. And at least it's a good presentation type sound I'm getting out of all the channels to represent the amp properly, and hopefully give people some good advice that might be looking for better ways of dialing in their amp, because there's stuff that I know that other people don't know, and there's stuff that they know that I don't know, and I'm here to learn from everybody as well. So at least if I can help somebody dial in an amplifier better, that's a win for me, so that's kind of what this channel's all about as well. Help you find your tone. Gateway drug, Scott Fulmer. It is, like, the Yeti was my gateway drug for all the great stuff. And again, I'm very grateful for that experience, for that amp. And I thank Mike Hasty again publicly for that, because he let me use it for that live stream. And if it wasn't for that, there would not be this, This would have went on sale, and I've been like, I don't even know what that is. So for those of you that are just coming on here and miss what I said earlier, I sound like a broken record. I apologize. But if you're looking for something different, it's hand-built. And it's got mods, all the Jose mods, all the Nick mods, all the cool stuff that you want. And you can pick even more different mods if you want to pay a little extra. $13.50, and you got a 100-watt amp that just, it's a beast. It is pretty friggin' heavy. You could tell it's got a good transformer in it. As soon as I picked it up, I could tell what side it was on. I'm like, holy hell, it's got some weight to it. Maybe I should turn the girth knob down and it'll be lighter. I don't know. But yeah, this thing sounds great. Paul Smith says, great sounding amp. Not enough channels, but great amp. Yeah, it just depends on what you're looking for, The thing is, with the modes, is you kind of get, not necessarily different channels, but in some ways you do. because a lot of times, fighting back a yawn right now, just like on the Engel, it's got 3 gain channels, but they all sound completely different because they're kind of like different modes of each other. And that's kind of what this does in a way too, because you flip a switch and it changes the amp pretty dramatically in the room. Again, YouTube's compression covers that up, but in the room, even mic'd up on a recording, you can tell. You know. Jason Taylor, need a King Kong 100. Yeah, I heard the King Kong's awesome. In fact, I think Tony's got a King Kong. But yeah, check out all the stuff they have, and check out Leon Todd's channel. He actually has done several videos on his molecular, and he goes through all the features as well. And he's doing more of a produced, not live stream kind of thing. So, which I will be doing in the future. And he was one of the guys that kind of convinced me when I was watching his channel. I'm like, man, that thing just sounds killer. But I just hope it sounds or feels as good as it sounds. Because the thing is, I'll say this to you guys before I close out tonight. You know, that's why I take a great responsibility in telling you guys like how things feel. I try to be extremely descriptive about that, because a lot of things do sound really good on YouTube, and then you buy it and you're like, this doesn't sound as good. Honestly, what the probably what part of the problem is it doesn't feel good. You play it and you're like, this thing feels dead. It feels anemic. It feels thin. It's unresponsive. My strings feel rusty or whatever. So I'm telling you right now, like as far as what I like, this thing feels amazing, and it'll feel several different ways because of the switches and all that stuff on it. So if you buy it, excuse me, and you if you buy it and you set it up the way I have it set up and it doesn't feel right to you, flick a switch. And I'm pretty sure it's going to feel right for you. I mean, you got 9, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 different modes you can switch. And then you have multiple combinations of those modes to make this thing work for you. So I don't see why you couldn't make it work for you. So it does feel great though. And it's one of the few amps that I've had on the show that I kind of enjoyed playing without the overdrive, even though I'm going to play it with an overdrive anyways because I do leads and stuff. And without the overdrive, what I found in a lot of amps is that the notes kind of all melt together, but with it you get that separation that you like when you're playing fast. So, but anyways, yeah, so I'm going to close out here in a minute, read a couple more comments. I got like about 2 minutes. I'm going to close out here. Christopher, another killer demo of an awesome amp. I love how no matter if you like the amp or just aren't feeling it, you always leave us feeling of it's a good amp and it may be the amp you love. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Yeah, I try to remain neutral on here. You can tell if I really love something because I'll kind of brag about it a lot and just go on and gush about it like I'm doing right now with this amp. And then some of them I just kind of remain, like with the Boss Katana. I was kind of like, yeah, it's a pretty good unit for the price, yada yada, you know. I don't get super excited about it, but I understand why there's a market for it, because not everybody's going to buy an expensive piece of gear, you know, and it's good enough for what the price is, you know. So, but yeah, this is definitely something I would recommend. If somebody came to me right now and said, I'm looking for something different, I'm looking for something that's not mainstream, kind of out of the box, I'd say go look at Ceriatone's website. One of those amps on there will definitely work for you, for sure. Guaranteed. Michael Mazlowski, what organs will I need to sell to get something like this? Well, it's $1,300, man. So whatever organ that you have that's worth $1,300. Got a button caught in my guitar here. Yeah, whatever organ you can get $1,350 for. So make up, you know. Kidneys, I don't know what kidneys are going for these days. But yeah, I'm sure you can get something for it. It's worth it though. It really is. Let's see here. Metalhead, not bad as boutique amps go. $1,350 out the door. I know, right? I mean, you can't get a Friedman for this price. There's no way. And in my opinion, I mean, for my taste, I like it better than the Friedmans. Friedmans don't gel with me too well, and it's not because I don't like them. It's just everybody's got their own taste. I had a JJ Jr. on here. It was probably the first time I played a Friedman, and that I was like, yeah, I kind of like this one. But in the room, the Mesa Mark 525 just killed it. It just smashed it to pieces. It just sounded way bigger. So, but yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a Friedman, and God bless you, I understand why people like him. Dave Friedman's an amazing amp builder, and he's legendary, and definitely don't want to deny him of any of that stuff. I'm sure he's worth every penny. But if you're looking for something like that, but it's like it's kind of out of your price range, but you still want something boutique, there you go, man. I'm telling you, you're not going to sacrifice quality here. These are built like tanks. They're built very well. And it was sent to Tony from Malaysia, and Tony just sent it to me from Texas. And it's in perfect working order. So, you know, it's a good amp. Very good amp. Yeah, it's a fair deal. It really is. So, like, if you're in the market for something like a Friedman or something like that, but you just don't want to spend the money, because there's a lot of people. I see it in the boards, the Facebook groups all the time. Oh yeah, I wish I could get a Friedman. You know, they're so freaking expensive. Well, you're gonna get something that, in my opinion, as far as I'm concerned, sounds better. It really does to me. It's just my opinion, so weigh that in. But it sounds better than a Friedman does, and the feel is great. And you have, again, all those mods on the Friedman amps. You get on the JJ, you get that one switch. You know, from JJ mode to whatever the other mode is, BE100 mode or something like that. And that's cool. I don't have a problem with that. I think it's great. But this one's got 10 different modes you can put it in. And then numerous combinations of those modes depending on how you have each switch individually set up. So, again, not poo-pooing Friedman. Amazing company, amazing amps, but not everybody can afford them. Here's your alternative. But you're not going to sacrifice quality for it. You're going to get something that's freaking amazing and stands up right next to everything else out there, quality-wise. So, Paul Smith, I like what I'm hearing better than the Friedman. Yeah, dude. Well, you know where I live. Come on over, man. Next time you come over, you can plug into this thing. I'm sure you're going to like it. I really am. The third mode is definitely beyond Friedman, Metalhead says. Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, see, that's the problem with the Friedman amps for a lot of metalhead guys like myself and you guys that are watching too, is they don't have enough gain for us. I mean, the gain structure is just completely different. You got to crank the gain all the way up just to get something that's barely usable for you, and then you got to slam it with an overdrive. And if it works, great. I mean, I'm not poo-pooing it. I mean, if it works, then that's fine, but some of us want a little bit of headroom with that, you know. This one here, I'll never have the gain past, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I mean, it's at 2 o'clock right now. But for rhythms, I'd have it a little lower. But again, I'm doing rhythms and leads with this, so I'd probably find a sweet spot for both of them where I have a little too much gain for rhythms, but barely enough for leads. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just make it work. Now, if I went in the studio, I'd turn the gain down for my rhythm channel, or for my rhythm tracks, and I'd turn it up a little higher for my lead tracks. I mean, it's just what we do, right? So, the Terrabion says it has more gain than a Splon Quick Rod. I have one, and the Molecular has more gain. No, you're right. It definitely does, especially when you're in that modern mode. The modern mode is my jam right there, man. And just so you know, like I have the volume. Again, let me repeat this. I have the volume at 2 o'clock, all right, because of that diode. So it's going through that diode, and it's just compressing it and just giving it that really nice full saturation, that big full fat feel. But man, once you get to 3 o'clock on that volume, it opens right up again, just like the other modes do. And it's got that big full sound. It just comes roaring out of the cabinet. And you go past that, and you're still getting all that great volume without overworking the amp. Because again, that diode is causing you to have to do that. So it's not like you're cranking the amp past what you should. It's appropriate. It's just the way it's dialed in. It's geared, so you're in a different gear in that mode. So you can crank it, and it's not going to hurt anything. And it sounds great. I mean, you crank it up at that volume and stand 10 feet away and start playing. It doesn't sound like, oh, this thing's about to blow up. Or it doesn't sound harsh. It sounds amazing. It sounds freaking killer. So that's something that I've always tried to do, and Ola kind of beat me to it. He's got that in the room thing that he's doing now, and it's like something I was like, damn it. Just a couple weeks ago, I was telling my buddy Jay that's in here. I started thinking about like how can I show what these sound like in the room, because I close mic them all, and it's great, but I want to have some room mics up here and feather in those just enough so you could get that room in there and just really dial it in, so when I take my in-ears out, I could be like, I captured the in the room sound. So it's definitely something I want to do in the future for you guys so you can hear what that sounds like. But anyways, well, I'm gonna close out here. Let's see here. Yeah, in a second here. So I want to. I know it's a little shorter than usual tonight, but hour and 20 minutes ain't bad, And thank you so much for celebrating this night with me, and just hanging out with me and checking out this amp. I want to keep amps alive on this channel. I want people to not forget about these things because they're amazing. They do stuff that no digital product will ever do. They're just amazing. So I love the digital stuff too. It's a handy tool. It's great stuff. But I will always say an amp sounds and feels better than anything else out there. Everything else is just either a really good or a really bad copy of an amplifier. You can never beat the original. So, well, thanks again, guys. Appreciate the super chats, hanging out with me. The thumbs up, all the comments, the interaction, the friendship. I really do appreciate it very much. Thank you so much for being here with me tonight, guys. I know there's plenty of other things that you could be doing tonight, but you chose to spend the evening with me, and I'm honored that you're here, and I hope it was worth your time. It was definitely worth mine. So I appreciate it very much. Paul Smith, maybe we'll see you this weekend. Sounds good, dude. All right, guys. Well, God bless you guys. Stay safe, and every day's a gift, and thank you for spending part of yours with me. We'll be live again with Carrie on Sunday night at 7, and watch for my Engel Savage dial-in video. You don't want to miss that. That is one special freaking amp, and I do a mix on each channel, and it's a lot of fun. It's a very deep dive into that amp, so I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, guys. Love you all. Take care, and I will see you soon.